Hey, this is Steve Bloom, and you are listening to the Geekcast Radio Network.
It's a wild ride. Join the discussion. Let's dive into lore. From Star Trek to Transformers, we're ready to soar. Superheroes clash as we spark up the flame. Altered Geek Podcast, remember the name.
Hello and welcome to Altered Geek. I'm your host, Steve Megatron, and joining me on this adventure into geekdom is TFG1Mike.
Yeah, no toasting elephants, thank you.
Yes, toasting elephants.
No toasting elephants.
Yes, toasty elephants. Today we're talking about SDCC 2026.
Yes.
Lots of stuff. Lots of stuff. I don't feel like, despite all of it, I don't feel like this year was like as big as previous years to some degree. Like I feel like in some ways it was, but in other ways it wasn't. Like I feel like some of the panels didn't matter as much, but there was a lot of stuff.
I feel like there was more stuff that we might care about than previous year. Like,
I feel like a lot of it got overshadowed by Marvel, like hardcore.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, it's Marvel, and when Marvel goes to SDCC, they go hardcore and they bring their maximum effort. So,
we'll talk about that too.
Yeah, but it's like, it's one of those things where they've got one big movie in the can that's coming out later this year that they don't really have to talk about at SDCC anymore because it's already there. It's already been done. The promotion for that movie is done, gone. I mean, they can still promote it and whatever else, but it's we're there. We're already in the thing, and it is what it is. But I don't know. I think what Marvel did this year was fine, but again, it's Marvel. It's Hall H. It's always going to be a thing. SDCC for me, the last couple of years, honestly, I haven't cared. The last few 2025, I couldn't tell you what excited. Like, I don't even think we did 2025 coverage. I don't even remember either of us talking about it last year. I know we didn't talk about it. I'm pretty sure we didn't talk about it in 2024 or 2020. I don't even remember the last time we talked about SDCC coverage actively. Maybe 29.
I could find out.
Yeah,
we did do an SDCC wrap up in 2025.
Okay, well.
So we did do one in 2024, and then before that,
2019,
2020.
Okay, well, see,
then 2018, and then 17, and then 16. Yeah. So I covered it every year except for because 2019 it was canceled.
Yep.
And then 21 through 23, I think it was just kind of a lot of meh. Didn't care. And I think they were still struggling to get back going during that time too, if I'm not mistaken. Like, I think that things were still a little
hairy,
turbulent with trying to get it back up and running. And so we did cover it last year because we covered SDCC wrap up and Happy Gilmore 2.
Oh, that's right. We did cover. Okay. Yeah.
And I remember about this time last year.
Well, funny enough, it happens usually in July. San Diego Comic-Con grows there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to cover. So
yeah. So, let me ask you though, have you looked into the DC Absolute Universe at all? Have you had any interest in this? Now, this has been going on since October 2nd of 2024 or so. Absolute Batman started in
July.
Funny guy.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
I've tried looking into the absolute stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't love the aesthetic. I don't love the dark nature of it.
Yeah, I didn't think you were going
So to me, like, this is kind of it's kind of like the anti of what I would find interesting. Like, I don't care, the fact that, oh, okay, he's in the absolute Batman line, like, he's 24-year-old blue collar civil engineer. I it doesn't it doesn't compute with me. Like, I just don't care about the plot line, because it's like I grew up with multiple versions of Batman. Like, multiple versions of him, all of the the different leaguers, the villains, the rogues. I grew up with the 66 Batman. I grew up with the 70s Batman. I grew up with the 80s, 90s, 2000s to some degree. And then a little bit into the teens. And then after that, like, I really didn't care. But most of my interest is the animation side.
Yeah.
Or the live action side. Like, the comics, while I'll say, this is harsh, this is gritty. I did read Nightfall.
Yeah.
So, and it's not that different of an aesthetic. It's still grounded in what the storyline originally was. And this new take on it, while I applaud Snyder and the other ones for doing this and getting it to work in this new universe, I personally don't care about the absolute line. Like,
that's fine.
But I also don't love comics anymore in that realm, because they also do all the crossovers.
Right.
Where you have to read, 10 different issues from 10 different series to get the whole story. And it's like, I just want to read one line. Like, I don't have any ambition to collect anything beyond that. So
I've been looking into this because I want to start this on the pull bag. Probably obviously not with you, but I've been looking into this. I've kind of been interested in this, and I actually blame Lego. It's all Lego's fault. Because you'll see the videos of the clip of Lego Joker going, "Holy shit, Batman, what the hell happened to you?" Like, have you seen that?
No.
You haven't? Oh my God, I'll have to send that to you. There's a clip of Lego Joker turning around and he sees absolute Lego Batman, and he's just like this giant wall. Oh my God, it's hilarious. But yeah, Scott Snyder is on absolute Batman. Kelly Thompson does absolute Wonder Woman. Jason Aaron does absolute Superman. Jeff Lemire does absolute Flash, and Al Ewing does absolute Green Lantern for the ongoing series. And then they have limited series, and then they have one shots. So it's not that big of a universe so far, kind of thing. But the reason why I bring this up is because out of Comic-Con, before we get to all the other big stuff that Comic-Con has, one of the one shots was an absolute Batman Arc M special, where I believe is, again, I'm going to have to look this up as we go along here and reconfirm, but they did absolute Batman Arc M special, which Arc M Arkham, which is where they introduce absolute Joker. Well, out of Comic-Con, they're introducing absolute Batman Beyond Arc M, and I'm like, oh my God, just look, y'all know by now how long we've been doing this podcast. Like, we're about to celebrate Altered Geeks
14
to 2013, 2026, to whatever anniversary.
13.
Yeah. So DC Comics announced an absolute Batman Beyond Arkham special at SDCC. Announced at the DC Absolute Universe panel, San Diego Comic-Con, was a new absolute Batman Beyond Arkham special from Snyder, Frank Thierry with Francisco Francivillo to follow the previous Arkham special that told a very early story of a young Jack Grimm, the absolute Joker, and how the Ark institutions came to be. The new book will have a lot of new characters, but also some classic DC ones, such as the absolute Professor Pig. Oh boy, that's going to be interesting. And the absolute Batman Beyond Arkham special will tell his story this time and how his works in the other arcs feed into Arkham. Each one has their own theme of experimentation and torture. Oh boy, yeah, you're not going to want to watch this. The art looks interesting. The art looks pretty cool. So very cool. Apparently Bleeding Cool previously reported that Snyder and Thierry planned on creating a sequel, and that was that. Scott previously said, so I'm sure we could do an absolute Joker thing at some point, but we're talking to them and we'll really want to do a sequel to Arkham, and Joker has Arkham. The whole idea is that this last one he built is the final one, but he's had them. Let's see what else. He has A, B, C, D in all over the world because he thinks it's funny to end on Arkham and call it Arkham because he killed Arkham, right? Oh boy. I don't know. Again, it had Batman Beyond in the title. Everybody should know me by now. If I see Batman Beyond or Batman Beyond title, and it's got a kind of Batman Beyond thing art, it looks kind of Terry-ish. I don't know. We'll see. It's gonna be interesting, to say the least. But I don't know. I'm kind of interested in the Absolute Universe. Again, it's something different from, at least for me, it's something different from DC that isn't the normal kind. This is exactly what you just said. For me personally, I don't have to read a million. I have to read a whole new universe, but it's a whole new universe. I can start from the beginning, and it's a self-contained universe that I don't have to read 1,000 years of comics from. Yeah, there are one-shots, and yes, there are limited series, but it's all self-contained within this universe. I don't have to worry about the main last 90 years of stuff.
I mean, they've rebooted it so many times at this point. There's so many different jumping on points.
Yeah.
So
very true.
I'm interested, but at the same time, like, I'm more interested in the new animated movies of Nightfall, which has Anson Mount, who plays Christopher Pike in Strange New Worlds, playing Bruce Wayne Batman in this. And I, having read all of the Nightfall, and then the Night's End, I remember all of these because they were my first Batman comics outside. Like, I had the animated series, but then I had the regular Detective Comics line. And so I had all of these, and there were moments that it was creepy, but it was like more based out of like realism in some degree. So it was freaky in that regard. So I enjoyed that, and I'm looking forward to that becoming an animated thing.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah. I remember reading Nightfall, I think, as a kid, but it's been a long time.
It was early 90s.
Yeah, I know. I know. I'm just saying, I remember reading it. It's been a long time, and I don't even. God, I don't even remember if we ever covered it. I don't think we did.
I would read it again. It's been a long time. Now, I will say, before we get into that, I had a little tirade with Screen Rant.
Yes.
It started on Threads, just because I opened up the GCR threads, and I was just like, okay, this is irritating. Because I saw not one, but I saw two things in the same 10 minutes, and I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. I replied as Geekcast Radio.
Yeah.
I put when SR posts returns in quotations, it means in the form of a comic. Maybe don't bury the lead here for the clickbait just to get clicks when AEO is going to bury this tactic. Try just having honest titles. And then a bunch of people dogpiled on it and liked it and everything else. I posted the same thing on Twitter.
Yep.
About the whole thing.
Yep.
And then that got a little attention too. And then I saw something else, and it was like, it was the Wolverine game. I don't remember what the returns. I think it was like a Batman or something.
Yeah.
The returns, or the official new means in the form of a game. And then I put the same thing. Maybe don't bury the lead with clickbait, to get that. And then I said, just, plus it's not the official new Wolverine. It's just a voiceover in a game with poor visual design, because Wolverine looks kind of stupid, and some of it doesn't. There's no sense of the gruffness in his face whatsoever, like Jackman has, or
the trailer, because I thought the Wolverine game trailer that they showed us looked okay, but I'll have to rewatch it.
I don't know. There were moments in it just looked kind of derpy, and I was like, this kind of looks like that crap animation stuff that they keep doing now. And this is the same thing as people get all butthurt when they use their graphics card and they use the AI enhancement to make it look better than what it was envisioned. And in that regard, that's kind of where I'm like, maybe do better.
Yeah.
And if you have the capability, instead of if you don't want AI doing it for you, just genuinely come up with something that looks better. I mean, I'll give the game a shot depending on what it's for, but because I have genuinely enjoyed Wolverine games in the past, or the Deadpool game years ago. But I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of modern gaming just because a lot of it just kind of looks like crap. Now, what I will say doesn't look like crap, and I'll get to that later, is the new Tomb Raider reimagining, which gives me a lot of Arkham vibes for the gameplay and the aesthetics. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that plays out, and I'm going to see if I can get my hands on it, having played the original. So diving into the first chunk, we have some of the Hall H stunts. We have Spaceballs 2 and the Ryan Reynolds Deadpool jump. One, the Spaceballs thing was hilarious. Because they had Rick Moranis, having the dark helmet cap on his head.
Yep.
And then had, they talked about having stuff for Mel Brooks with, turning 100, recording audio, and doing the mocap for yogurt, which I guess they freeze in carbonite type stuff and call them frozen yogurt.
Yep.
And then they came up with the ASS parody, the Almighty Schwartz Saga, and then they showed this crazy video of how it spiderwebs into a multiverse, and they're like, it's an 11-phase slate, basically mocking modern cinematic universe bloat, which I do agree with them. I 100% agree with them on this, because it seems like we never finish anything. It's oh, we got to keep going. Oh, we got to keep going. And they were like, we'll finish in 2142.
Yeah. And it wasn't just them mocking general cinema. It was specifically, specifically targeted at Marvel, because you look at that's specific.
Oh, it looked just like it.
Look just friggin' like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but literally, yeah.
But it was brilliant.
Absolutely, it was hilarious.
I saw that and I was like, "This is hilarious!" Like they were being dead serious about it, like for a minute, just joking. And meanwhile, Feige is doing his version of it, and he's like, "Oh, it's gonna take us through 2040 or something."
Yeah.
And we're like, we're gonna be old men by the time they like finish this thing. Half the actors will be dead. It's like
half the actors are dead now.
I know. Well, the characters, the actors are starting to look a little green.
The one thing I appreciated about the Spaceballs panel, besides the fact that Rick Moranis actually came out and did Comic-Con for the first time ever, is everyone, I don't know, every podcast is somebody's first podcast, so I'll repeat myself again. I've never been the biggest Josh Gad fan, only because every time I see him in any role or hear him in any voice role, specifically Olaf, that's a snowman I want to burn in hell. I just don't like how his characters and the way he acts rubs me the wrong way, and sometimes the way he talks. But I got to give the man mad respect and mad props, because the one thing that was said in this panel, thank God, he gave ultimate respect to John Candy, and he said, "Everyone assumes that I'm going to be playing Barf in this movie, and that is absolutely not true. Do not believe the online rumors, blah, 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 blah. Yes, I am going to be playing a Mog, but I am not going to be playing Barf. I have too much respect and too much love for John Candy. This film is being made as a love letter to the original. End of story." He said something to the effects of that. I'm paraphrasing the man, but that essentially what he said was, "Yes, I am playing a Mog. No, it is not Barf."
It's his son, I think, but either way, it's still not the original.
The point is that he said he is not playing Barf.
Yeah, which I'm
good.
100. Yeah. I honor him by playing his son, like the new Naked Gun movie did, or like, or like, like they're doing with Black Panther 3.
Yeah, exactly.
T'Challa's son. They're not recasting Chadwick Boseman. They're continuing the story without him. But honoring what came before.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm still not going to see Spaceballs 2 until it hits digital media, because that's how I roll with stuff. But it's one of those things where, okay, I feel a lot better, even though I don't want to know a lot about the movie, obviously, before I see it, kind of thing. But it's like, we live in a media landscape. So if I see a trailer, if I see more trailers, if I choose to watch more trailers, because that's usually how I end up doing it, because I'll forget about it half the time anyway, that's fine. But I'm glad that he came out and said that and everything else. So, okay. Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. So there's that. And then one of the things that I thought was absolutely hilarious was the fact that Ryan Reynolds crashed the Doomsday panel, but not to mention, before all of that,
he was walking around in the gray suit at Comic-Con and nobody knew it was him.
And he was called Gene Pool because it's made out of like a bluish gray, blue jean material for Deadpool. And it looked, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if this suit shows up in the movie, because it looks like it's movie quality. I mean, he could have paid for it himself, which I wouldn't put past him, but I think he's in the movie, and I think that's why the little comments of, well, it's not done until they pry it out of our dead hands, like, but I thought it was funny that he walked around all of Comic-Con.
Yes, he did.
Without a bodyguard, like just kind of was like, and just showed up and took cosplay with everybody. And then he shows up at the panel and they're like, Robert Downey Jr. And you can tell it's played out, but he's like, get this man a microphone. And he's like, I already have one.
Like,
and plays the whole, and it was very Deadpool-y, way of announcing the fact that, and he's like, wow, this is a really expensive way to tease a movie, and they're like, it's already done, bro.
Well, that's what Downey's like. It's in the can, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, so there's no way to insert and do any extras or that's not a
and then he did
thing.
the mic drop at the end.
Yep.
And then he's like, Happy Hogan.
Get the Audi.
Yeah. But yeah, it was just funny in general. Like I think that was one of the coolest takeaways since they introduced Deadpool, like back when the first movie was about to come out, by leaking the footage.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling Tobey Maguire and Wolverine will be in the movie. I have a feeling that they'll also be in Infinity War. Or not Infinity War, Secret Wars.
Secret Wars, yeah.
Yeah. I think it'd be cool if those three were kind of like the leads with like Thor.
Yeah.
It'll probably be Nomad, Cap, Steve Rogers, and then but yeah, it was I really liked how they did that. And then of course they announced Ryan Gosling as Ghost Rider.
Yep.
Which is crazy. Like, what are your thoughts on that? Because I obviously we grew up with Nick Cage as Ghost Rider.
Yeah. I like it. I don't know. I haven't watched enough Gosling movies to really I don't have that big of an opinion on him. I just see all the jokes online now because after that was announced, artist extraordinaire Boss Logic did a Barbie poster. Did a Barbie poster up of him where it's the flame. It's his Ken head, but flamed up as Ghost Rider. I don't know. I guess as long as he does it right, as long as he does the character right. Here's the thing though about that is that it's Sean Levy. So I have hope with that because here's the difference. Okay. The difference between when the hell did this originally come out? 2007. Difference between Nick Cage 2007 Ghost Rider and whenever this new one's coming out, I don't remember if they announced it, whatever 2175 or whatever it's supposed to be. The difference between the Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider from 2007 and the Sean Levy Ryan Gosling Ghost Rider for the Marvel Cinematic Universe is that was directed by Mark Steven Johnson. And Mark Steven Johnson, again, pretty good director. He debuted his first two films, well, not as a director, as a writer, his first two films, Grumpy and Grumpier Old Men. As a director, his directorial debut was Simon Birch in 98. He then went on to directed Daredevil, 2003 Daredevil, and then Ghost Rider. So it's going to be different. It's going to be interesting. So we'll just have to see and wait and see what happens. But with Sean Levy at the helm of Ghost Rider this time around, I expect a hell of a lot more heart. I haven't seen the Nick Cage Ghost Rider in a long time, so maybe I need to go back and rewatch that. But as far as Ryan Gosling himself, I admit ignorance on that part because I think I've seen maybe 2 of his films out of his entire filmography. So I need to do some research on him as an actor.
I've seen a lot of his stuff. Like I just saw that Project Hail Mary. And
yeah, I want to see that. That is one that I do.
It's really well done. I'm planning on writing up a review of that in the near future too. I've seen a lot of his movies over the years. He seems to be a really down to earth guy. He's fun on like SNL when he's on there. Like he played Beavis on or Butthead or something. One of the two. I think it was Beavis. They had a skit where
I've seen that skit. Yeah.
But there was also like a thing where he was being interviewed by one of the movie organizations, and it was a critic, and he was interviewing him about the project Hail Mary, and the guy was like broke down in the middle of like the desert, and he was using like a hotspot or whatever to like conduct the interview. And Ryan Gosling's like, "Do you need some water? Do you need some help?" Like he was like, it was just like an entertaining interview. And then they like kept tabs like after the fact. Like it was kind of funny. But yeah, I mean, it seems like a good dude. So like, I'm willing to give it a shot. And I know he's also like in talks for that, or he is in the Star Wars Starfighter. So I'm excited to see that too.
Yeah.
But Sean Levy's done really well with his catalog of movies, and so honestly, I'll probably be seeing it just for that alone. Because I mean, he did he's even doing Star Wars Starfighter.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But what's funny is all of his movies, I've enjoyed pretty much all the ones I've seen. Like there's The Internship, he's done The Atom Project, he did the Night at the Museum movies, he did Real Steel, Free Guy, Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah, I have no issues with Sean. Sean's great. That's why I said.
I mean, yeah, he's even done Cheaper by the Dozen. Like pretty much a lot of his filmography, actually, I really like.
Yep.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
That never happens. So.
Yep. Big Fat Liar, Just Married. Yep. Absolutely.
Pink Panther.
Yep.
Yeah, Cheaper by the Dozen 2, Date Night. Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. So yeah, he's got a pretty good filmography going that I'm like, okay, I pretty much will watch anything that he makes at this point. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And then obviously we saw the Doomsday trailer.
Yes. What'd you think of that trailer?
I'm kind of torn, to be honest. I think I was expecting more out of it. And I mean, with the little snippet teasers they showed us ahead of time, it kind of ruined this trailer for me, to be honest. Because I feel like we got to see elements of it already. And then, you get, I of course love that Thor is playing like a central part of this.
Yeah.
For this group of heroes, like kind of drawing them together like Captain America did or Iron Man did. And he references both men and then gets to see Steve at the end, who grabs Mjolnir. and then people are like, well, he looks kind of gaunt. He doesn't look. And then he's got this weird smile. He could be Captain Hydra. And it's like, okay, well, it could be, or it could just be like a really pained, tired, nomad version of Captain America who's lost everything too because of Doom.
Yep.
So like we could be in that era of it. And then of course Thor, like I'm wondering why he's cut his hair since the last movie. Not that really matters all that much, but I think it's funny that we're getting this kind of smattering of new heroes, old heroes, and then just kind of seeing where it goes from here. And I loved the X-Men bits. I loved Cyclops being in there, and that they finally gave Marsden his actual suit from the X-Men 97 era.
Yep.
So, which is what they should have given him in the first place, and it would have just been excellent back then. But
but
it was the only superhero thing though that didn't actually go by their actual suit. Like Spider-Man did it, and then you had Iron Man did it years later, and then we also had the Bat films, and they pretty much did it. I mean, they changed some stuff, but
I forget what Bryan Singer's reasoning was as to why X-Men did not go other than Wolverine getting the joke, what would you prefer? Blue and yellow spandex, which that joke then got, paid back years later. What would you prefer? Black leather? Because they paid that back in X-Men 97.
They didn't wear the colorful comic suits in 2000 because the film studio executives and Bryan Singer feared brightly colored spandex would look campy and ridiculous. So instead, they were heavily influenced by The Matrix.
Yeah. Oh boy.
But so that's why we got.
At least we have it now. So
yeah, and they did keep the pattern of his suit, like the leather suit. They kept it with the blue.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm excited. I'm excited from the X-Men and from the original Avengers. Like, I don't care about the new Avengers. I don't care about the Fantastic Four.
You leave the Thunderbolts alone.
I don't like the Thunderbolts. Most of them are going to die anyway. They'll keep the Fantastic Four around. They're going to introduce new X-Men as they kill the old ones. They're going to have different Spider-Man show up, I'm sure. And
probably.
Then of course, like, tying into all of this, the Marvel Legends figures dropped today.
Yeah.
7/27.
Yeah.
So they dropped the Doctor Doom. They dropped Gambit. They dropped Cyclops, Thor, with a similar Infinity War body frame, but with both Mjolnir and Stormbreaker.
Oh, nice.
Shang-Chi. And then Amazon apparently has a exclusive Magneto.
Cool.
Which I was unaware of that until I was like gathering notes. Well, and I was ready. The Magneto does look cool. Don't get me wrong. Like, he's finally in a kind of a suit. It's more so his old suit, just with proper coloring.
Yep.
And he looks like an old man. Look, it's like Gandalf being in the suit. I think it's gonna be cool either way. Like, all of these figures, I did pre-order. Thor, Cyclops, and Doom.
Okay.
More so because Thor, I always planned on putting in my Marvel Legends collection with my Wolverine and my Toby Spider-Man and Cap and Black Widow and Iron Man. And so I'm planning on putting that in Cyclops, just because, like, it's, continuation from the year 2000 nostalgia. So it's got to be with my Wolverine and my Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. And then Doom, because I don't have a villain for the Marvel Legends, and I was never much of a Thanos fan, so Doom was kind of fitting. And I may get other ones. I don't know. I'm kind of just kind of toying with it at the moment. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna get as far as these, because it's not like I 100% care, but and if I see them at Walmart or something, I'll probably pick them up there. But I have them at BBTS pre-ordered.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, no, the trailer, I don't remember. Like, I know the little teasers and whatever that we'd gotten. I don't remember those. So when the trailer dropped, I was like, oh, cool. And I noticed everything, and I was like, I like the Thor. So Thor in the Marvel Cinematic Universe for me is, please just only give him to me in small doses through Future Mutants. Like, I don't need Thor in large doses. That's how I look at Thor in the entire. I don't know. Thor is just not my favorite, and So in this trailer, I was like, okay, Thor gets his time to shine as a narrator of one of the trailers for the Avengers movies. That's great. That's awesome. Very cool. Very cool. And that ending, and I'm like, okay, what's he gonna say? Hey, pal. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Damn it. Like,
yeah. So he goes, it can't be, and
hey, pal.
I don't know. I'm
that one, the rest of the trailer can go to hell. That one sit like, oh god. Because we already knew that Sam is Cap, Sam is staying Cap, Sam is not reverting to Falcon. And what's the next phase for Steve? Well, if he's not going to stay retired and be happy with Peggy and make whatever, he's going to go nomad and whatever, and that's fine. But that one lot, the rest of the trailer, I'm like, okay, fine. Trailer's good. I'm ready. Doomsday. Let's go. Everybody was up in arms about whether that was Downey doing the voice or not, though.
Oh, it was 100% him.
No. I know.
No, I know.
We weren't sure whether, and I'm like, oh, definitely that was Downey. And then obviously once we got to SDCC and we actually heard him and saw him do it, I was like, okay, that's absolutely 100%. Yeah, let's I am so ready for Doomsday.
Well, and he was very slow and methodical with how he said it. And so you can tell that Doom is going to be very cold and calculating, like a slower physicality of Tony Stark, but at the same time more focused and brilliant. So it's going to be a mess, for sure. And then so I mean, I'm excited from the perspective of seeing how this all goes down. I feel like it's going to be a lot of people that are just like butthurt by the end of the movie anyway. I mean, just saying, because people are going to be like, no. But
what's crazy to me though is how between late 2021 and throughout 2022 to now, and I know all these people are really good at their jobs, all the Marvel people. How well they did at pulling off changing everything because of Jonathan Majors going to jail. None of this would be here if that didn't happen, because we were supposed to get Kang Dynasty. This Doomsday was not supposed to be. Like, I just saw a reel or whatever about the whole timeline that was supposed to be versus what we actually are getting now. And I'm like, I'm kind of, I mean, dude's a criminal. He went to jail. Okay. But I don't think I would be as excited as I am right now if we were still going to get Kang Dynasty.
Oh, probably not. I'm just saying, like, I didn't.
Because again, we were laying out because it was still going to be Kang Dynasty led to Secret Wars. Because I remember from the original plot that they laid out back in 2022, and I was like, wait a minute. Huh? Sense. Because now it's kind of like a split timeline. It's like, this was originally timeline A, and we're now like on timeline B2. and Timeline B2 makes more sense. The one time the alternate timeline makes sense. Damn it, Doc Brown. But no, I'm very excited to see what happens with Brand New Day coming up in a couple. Well, Brand New Day might be out by the time this podcast is out, because Brand New Day comes out the end of this week as of this recording. But yeah, and then December 18th is Doomsday.
Yeah, so I'm pretty excited just to see how this all goes down. Like,
oh yeah, me too.
Yeah, it could go honestly either way. So we shall see, I guess.
Shall see.
And then, of course, we've got other things too. I was looking at various, because obviously we got to cover some, G.I. Joe, Transformers, Masters of the Universe, all that kind of stuff. So G.I. Joe is doing a classified series X Tomb Raider, because they've done Turtles, they've done Masters of the Universe crossover, so this is kind of logical and fits into it.
I guess.
It kind of fits. They even wrote a comic into it.
They did.
Yeah, there's a comic crossover.
Huh. Interesting. Know that.
Yeah. I was a fan of the old games. Like I said, the movies are kind of hit or miss, but
first movie's okay. The second movie was definitely missing. I don't know.
Then they rebooted it in 2018, and then there's supposed to be a Amazon series coming at some point, which we'll see. Amazon so far has impressed me with a lot of their film and television slates, so I'll give it a shot just based on that alone. Initially I was kind of like, I don't know, but I enjoyed Spider Noir, which I reviewed on the website, and then like I said, Project Hail Mary was good, Masters of the Universe was good, so I'm kind of willing to give it a shot, just because of those things alone. So yeah, this is a figure that I'll probably pick up too. It of course sold out like gangbusters online for pre-order.
Yep.
So if I see it at Walmart, I'll probably pick it up. But yeah, then Hasbro has some other, like, pretty much for G.I. Joe, that was like the major thing, was the Lara Croft figure. They've got Shipwreck with Cadet Deming, and I'm like, I have no idea what that's for. And then they have the Fatal Fluffies is what it's called, and it's like this Minotaur looking dude. It's a cobra thing, and I'm like, okay, I don't get what that is, but yeah, that's pretty much the only thing that they got going on for G.I. Joe. And then we get over to Transformers, and they've got like monster trucks, like the Monster Jam stuff, and then a cereal box thing of Optimus Prime and Autobot Jazz.
Yep.
And then a Gem and the Holograms blaster.
Yes, the exclusive Gem and the Holograms blaster, which is basically blaster colored up in the Gem and the Holograms, pink, purple, those kind of colors. I think we talked about that over on All Things Transformers when it was originally announced for SDCC as an exclusive. I remember bringing that up, and it looks cool. I don't think I'd end up getting it, but it looks cool.
It looks interesting. I think we did talk about the blaster on ATTF.
We did.
But yeah, I'm interested to see how some of these things play out. Because, like, honestly, I kind of expected a little bit more out of Transformers from this. They did announce the Beast Wars Maximal set during this time.
7-figure Maximal set.
Yeah, and the paint decos are correct. Like, they actually did it. But it just kind of figured people were like on social media freaking out. They're like, can't believe they did this. And then those of us that have been in the franchise forever are like, they're like, par for the course, dude. Like, it's like they had to milk the mold out of us for time and time again. Like they did the Kingdom line and then Legacy, and then they did the Shattered Glass stuff, and then they did alternate head repaints for Target exclusive 4-packs, and then they've done the premium finish ones from Takara, and then now we're finally getting all of them in one set.
Well, it's
proper colors.
It's funny because Matrix Prime, aka Jesse, over on Another Comic Review, we have our own Google chat group where we talk about the stuff we're doing over there on that podcast and things like that. And sometimes we'll share Transformers news stuff and whatever else. And he shared this with me, and I'm like, he's like, here you go, Mike. They're finally talking about the 30th anniversary. They're finally celebrating, because I've been bitching to them about him, and Ryan the Uneven Flow have been bitching to them, which I've been saying this all year long. Look, I get it. It's the 40th anniversary of one of the best parts, the ultimate top tier parts of this fandom with Transformers the movie. I get it. It's the 40th anniversary of the highest part of the fandom with Generation 1. I completely understand it, and I love it, and I love what they're doing with the marketing of that. But it's also the 30th anniversary of the cartoon that saved your franchise. We would not be here if it weren't for Beast Wars. Not just the cartoon, but the toy line and everything else. But it's like, so I've been bitching about this, how they're not doing anything for the 30th anniversary of Beast Wars. So he messages me with this story, the story about the 7-pack. He goes, here you go, Mike. They're finally celebrating. I said, this isn't a celebration. This is a news story on the fact that they released a 7-pack of Maximals. Okay, great. Yay. Maximal 7-pack. That's awesome. That's cool. I'm not buying it, but that's cool. But that's nowhere near the marketing dollars for a Beast Wars 30th anniversary that they've put into the 40th anniversary of Transformers the movie. Like, I don't know what I want them to do. And I know I'm going off on a tangent here and a rant, but like something. Whether it be a whole live stream, like they have these Transformers Tuesdays live streams of what they're announcing for upcoming products and projects or whatever. You know what they ought to do, whether it's remotely or not, whether it's whatever or not, they ought to get BMAC ought to figure out a way to get Gary and David and whomever. I know I think David's mainly based out of California now, but get all the Canadian people who are still with us that are available, get them all on a live stream and have some sort of Beast Wars 30th anniversary live stream or something to celebrate the 30th anniversary of Beast Wars, the part of the franchise that saved your ass and brought us to where we are today. Because without that part of the franchise, we wouldn't have had the last 30 years.
Well,
so while the 7-pack is cool, sorry. It's like, it feels like to me that it's like sliding a kid a toy. Here, kid, go away. You bother me. Like, just here, kid, play with this. Go away. Like, really? Seriously? I don't know. The 7-pack is cool, though.
I mean, if I didn't have them already, I would definitely be
buying it.
Interested. But it's also a big chunk of change. And I have like some of them already as masterpiece. And so like as I've like gradually replaced some of them with masterpiece, like I've given them to my kids, like my old Kingdom figures. But
and again, the 7-pack is more so for those. It's not as big of a Beast Wars, as diehard of a Beast Wars fan as you are, as what you just said. You are constantly upgrading. You're constantly trying to find the right ones and the this and the that and the whatever. And if you weren't already doing that, this would be perfect for you. But you're already doing that. This is for, let's say, if I was actually collecting actual action figures that weren't just Funko Pop, this would be for me, or this would be for any regular normal Beast Wars fan that wasn't constantly upgrading and didn't already have multiple versions of things that they didn't want to get rid of, or didn't already have. Like, if I didn't have, like, if I was a normal Beast Wars fan that didn't have the investment dollars to put into Masterpiece, I would buy this up in a heartbeat and just call it a day for Maximals. Here's the real question. When's the 7-pack Predacons coming out, or did it already come out?
It already came out.
Oh, it already came out. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Oh, well. And then there's Masters of the Universe, the 2026 movie, 4K Blu-ray pre-orders.
Yeah, this is a whole debacle for me at this point. So I did get a bunch of Blu-rays of various series.
Yeah.
I got the 4K Blu-ray of Mask of the Phantasm. However, my Blu-ray player would not play it.
What?
Because I don't have a 4K Bluray player. I have a 4K TV. So to me, the disc was useless, so I returned it. So I'm just going to get the standard Blu-ray. Which it's better than nothing. I already have all of Batman Beyond with Return of the Joker and Justice League and Unlimited on Blu-ray.
Yep.
Justice League is on DVD because they don't make a Blu-ray apparently. And but anyways, so I'll probably be trying to get my hands on the Blu-ray of this just for that reason alone, so that I can at least, watch it. And then of course the 4K Blu-ray Steelbook bundle contains a mini collectible comic and behind the scenes, featurette. But I'm kind of happy that these are still coming out on Blu-ray.
Oh, absolutely.
Like Project Hail Mary is coming out on Blu-ray.
Yep.
And this is coming out on Blu-ray. And I'm waiting for Spider Noir as well. I can't see them not doing this. But yeah, I hope that this lands in Walmart because it'll be actually probably cheaper than Amazon. So, but I really did enjoy this movie, and everybody I've talked to about this movie has really enjoyed it as well. I was talking to some people at work about it, and a couple of my bosses, they were like dropping quotes from the movie, and I was like, Masters of the Universe was awesome, and they're like, see, you get it. And we were in a marketing group and today, and they were like, what? And we're like, you're too young.
You're too young. Yeah.
Like, it's all of us people in our 40s. So it was just entertaining. But yeah, I'm excited to see that this is coming on disc, and it was such a fun movie.
Yeah, you want to talk about a too young moment. Oh my god. So my buddy, our buddy, whatever, it's more my buddy than you, whatever. Anyway, my buddy Mike Seibert, who does the Mike Seibert radio program, and he does Two Mikes Too Furious with our other buddy Michael Anders. He's he sometimes goes down the rabbit hole of how some Transformers fans are like, they are just, nobody hates Transformers more than Transformers fans, is how he puts it.
That tracks.
and sometimes he'll find tweets and he'll quote tweet them, so I then have to go down the rabbit hole of the tweet that he quote tweeted, and I went down this rabbit hole of the Knights of Unicron album that came out, the reformatted edition album that came out, and the one that hit me just smacked me dead in my face, just like how Optimus smacked Thrust with his front bumper in the movie. Why is it called an apology tour? You're too young if you have to ask that question. God damn it. You are way too young if you have to ask that question. You don't understand. Oh my god. But yeah.
So yeah, it's just
yeah.
So yeah, my boss was like, he texted his wife. He says, guess what we're watching tonight?
I bet she was not thrilled.
I don't think she'll care. Action movie, yeah. But it's nostalgia, and it was fun. It wasn't like all.
Well, yeah, no, I know.
It wasn't like cheesy action movie. It was legitimately fun and entertaining. Like,
yeah,
everything that happened in it was just, I don't know. I had more fun with that than I did in the entirety of the live action Transformers films. Like, that's saying a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we did re-review them, and I did enjoy them better on the second, on this, as an older person. But, I would still say I preferred Masters of the Universe to those 5-6 films. Other than Bumblebee, like Bumblebee was kind of on par. It was slower though, but this was just, I don't know, a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, moving into like kind of a slight discussion about like the collector aspect of things announced at SDCC, or like pre-order, aftermarket speculation type things.
Yes.
This is one of those things that it creates, and I've noticed it, because like everything is pre-order anymore. Everything. Yep. And it's annoying. There's this, is it pre-order or will it hit the stores? So like you get, the online wall of like, you get waves of certain figures. For instance, like right now I've discussed like the Doomsday Wave 1 and the Lara Croft figures. Yep. One, they went to Hasbro Pulse, they went to Amazon, they went to BBTS, Entertainment Earth. The brick and mortar, shelf hunting is nearly extinct. And I do think this because I frequent Walmart, I frequent Target pretty much every week, and especially Walmart. And while I've been able to find a bazillion Funko Pops, I've been able to find a ton of like Dragon Ball, Dragon Stars, like I have all the ones I want. They have like the Playmates Power Ranger stuff's all being clearanced out. All the DC comic stuff is being clearanced out by like Hasbro and McFarlane. All of a lot of the Transformers stuff is not moving, or it's the cheaper Cyber Wars or whatever, Cyber World and other stuff, and those don't generally move. A lot of the G.I. Joe stuff's not moving. The Master stuff past the movie has not been moving. It's all clearanced. So it's kind of entertaining to see that, but then also not ever see certain figures. Like I never saw like Studio Series 86 Prime or Megatron in the store ever.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of other figures show up, but never those. And then it kind of led me to think about, you know, how many of these things are shell formers, how many of them would actually genuinely sell. Like there's a buttload of, for Marvel Legends, of No Way Home Spider-Man of the Tom Holland version. Like they couldn't keep the other ones off on the shelves. And then they've got a ton of Captain America from Endgame. And then that's it. Like a couple of fantastic. I only saw Sue Storm from Fantastic Four in the store. I saw that a couple of times. I've seen some of the Deadpool and Wolverine figures, and it's usually hit or miss. Like I'll see one or two, and then I never see them again. So it'll be interesting to see. I don't think the Lara Croft will. If it does, it won't last because it's kind of. And I ran this through AI of like the aftermarket price explosion risk. It says that the Lara Croft crossover would be like a moderate risk because it's got cross fandom interest. And then it said that like the Gambit figure, because you know they've never made one of live action Gambit before, it'll be like high risk, like meme, like fan favorite demand.
Yeah.
The Thor for Doomsday is a mold reuse from Infinity War with just he's got both weapons. So it'll be kind of a low risk, widespread, which that I kind of see.
Yeah.
Because I did see a lot of those during the time. But yeah, so I mean, it's interesting to see how we're having to almost go D2C for pre-orders to get guaranteed to get these things, or at least the perception of guaranteed.
Yep.
Which sucks because like I remember when Lightning Collection was out, I pre-ordered the Jason with the dragon armor.
Yep.
And it got pushed back 4 times and then eventually was canceled. And I ended up just getting a regular Jason Lightning Collection.
And then getting the armor.
And printing the armor.
Oh, that's right. You printed it. That's right.
I had to print it. And I made like 8 copies of it until I got 2 that worked out right. And then I put the dragon armor on the Jason figure. And I put it on the Green Ranger that happened to not come with dragon armor. So because I got into the game late, so I ended up having to do it that way. And mine looks fine. It doesn't look spectacular, but I mean, it looks. I'm actually pleasantly surprised how it turned out. But again, it's created this conundrum of like, I would like to just go in the store, pick it up, and leave.
Yep.
Rather than pay shipping or wait. For a pre-order, like I absolutely hate pre-orders. I've done them to secure the spot.
Yeah.
Like I have the Captain Kirk for Nacelle Toys for the Wave 2 of the Star Trek line.
Yep.
Because it's like a bucket list figure that I wanted back in the 90s. And they're finally making one. And I have that pre-ordered, but I've had it pre-ordered since like they announced it. And it's not coming out until like either the end of this year or like Q1 next year. Like it's insane, like the amount of time some of these pre-orders go. So I don't know. Like I'm kind of curious what people's thoughts are on like pre-order. Like, are you kind of done with it? Like, do you have a fatigue with it, or do you question whether it'll be in the store? Do you have to like, how do you weigh whether you pre-order or whether you just kind of weigh it out and see if it'll magically appear? I mean, my gut instinct is generally I will pre-order on BBTS, and if I find it retail, I'll cancel it.
Yep.
Because usually I'll see it in retail before I'll even see it remotely on BBTS.
Yeah. My issue with pre-order doesn't have to do with the toys. It has to do with the media. It has to do with the discs and stuff, with the Blu-rays and the 4Ks and the whatevers and the what. So it's like, oh, pre-order this on Amazon. It's not coming until blah, blah, blah. I mentioned the movie Crime 101 wasn't coming out until whenever it was supposed to come out. Get a notification after I've already gotten paid and all the bills are paid and everything else and whatever else. And after bills are paid half time, I don't have extra money for anything. Oh, by the way, Crime 101's coming out July 22nd, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, crap, got to cancel that pre-order. I'm like, oh, this isn't coming out until August or September or whatever. So when pre-orders come up sooner, sometimes it's like, oh, that kind of, if I don't already have the money set aside, it's kind of like, oh, that kind of sucks. I'll have to wait on that for a while. And yeah, so that's my, the waiting. I don't mind waiting. Waiting's not the problem for me. I can wait out a pre-order, but no, I completely understand, because again, you're, especially with that Kirk figure, I know you've been aching and waiting for that one, because that's obviously something that has never been out.
It's never existed, now. So it's been a bucket list item forever for me.
Yeah, exactly.
So much so I made one and just for them to turn around and make one anyway.
Yep, there you go.
So yeah, so I'm curious what people think as far as that. Like do you get into the FOMO trap of, are the collector lines driving fans out of the hobby by forcing tons of these pre-order drops after Comic-Con, or would you prefer like the retail, or is retail peg hunting officially dead for these figures? So I don't know. Just sound off on the episode post on the website, thegcrn.com. If you go to geekcastradio.com, it'll still take you the same place. You can also comment on our Discord channel. So anything you would like to bring up, sir, before we close it out?
I don't think so. I think that's it.
Alrighty then. So until next time, get altered, get geeky with the Altered Geeks.
From classic icons to new sci-fi dreams, with every episode we'll unravel the themes. Let's geek out and laugh, keep the spirits high. Together we'll journey, reaching for the sky. Join the discussion, let's dive into lore. From Star Trek to Transformers, we're ready to soar. Superheroes clash as we spark up the flame. Alter Geek Podcast, remember the name.